Hi Capricorn, welcome to your love reading for November 2019. Let's go ahead and see what is going on with you. This is a love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. The first card you have, Capricorn, is a Six of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. Ten of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. The Sun. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. Page of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. Eight of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. Two of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. Karma, which is Judgment. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for November. And the Fool. Okay, what's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for November 2019? The message that you have, Capricorn, is the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands can be you defending your relationship, but based on what I see here as well, it could be that maybe you're really standing up for yourself. You're speaking up for yourself. I see, cards of perhaps a relationship ending here and here. So perhaps with the Seven of Wands, some of you are having a chance to stand up to your ex, really speaking your truth. So we'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and start at the top. If you'd like a private reading with me, just scroll down and you'll see a link to my website, channeledguidance.com. Okay, so you have the Six of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Sun. So I definitely see here with the Ten of Swords that somebody has not been able to move on. Like I said, you have two cards here of, perhaps a relationship ending. You have the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups. This is the goodbye card. Somebody has chosen to move on or walk away. But with the Ten of Swords, somebody is still deeply hurt and has not been able to move past this. There seems to be something like really positive changing around this. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Sun. The Sun is happiness, positive energy. So for some of you, maybe where you were kind of betrayed in a relationship, the Ten of Swords usually does imply that a relationship did not just end, but you were deeply hurt or betrayed in some horrible way. You see the person laying here on the ground with 10 swords in their back. You were deeply hurt or betrayed in some way, and you've not been able to move on. Maybe emotionally, but especially mentally. This is the Suit of Swords. Like I said, there is something very positive changing around this. For those of you where you want to forget what somebody did to you, maybe you want to find somebody new, I definitely see that happening. But for those of you where maybe you want to reconnect with the person, you've not been able to move on from them emotionally as well, again, there is a lot of happiness here for you in the month of November. You also start with the Six of Pentacles. So this is you getting what you deserve. For the sign of Capricorn, this is definitely not what you deserve. You were hurt, you were betrayed, but it's like something is being returned to you. This is getting exactly what you thought you were going to get in the first place. Now look at the second row. You've got the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. So like I said, somebody left. The cards are making that pretty crystal clear for the sign of Capricorn. Somebody left. Somebody chose to move on so that they could be happy. For those of you where you want to reconnect with this person, I am going to do the X spread after this, but this is the cards that have come out for you. Somebody choosing to move on. There is a relationship here. Again, for those of you where you want it to be somebody new, it's definitely here. But if you want to reconnect, with that person who walked away, I do see communication here with the Page of Cups. And this is not just communication. This is, perhaps a love letter. This is somebody really speaking from the heart. This is somebody maybe letting you know what they were thinking when they left, or somebody, what they were thinking when they broke your heart. There is some movement here with the Knight of Pentacles. This is things moving slowly, but definitely moving in the direction of positive energy, success, and perhaps a relationship resurfacing for you. Now, if you look at this bottom row down here, I'll hold them up for you. You've got the Two of Pentacles. So some of you might be feeling like your love life is really up in the air right now. You might feel like everything's so unstable, so unsettled. You don't know what to do. For some of you, there could be a choice. Perhaps you're choosing between partners, or you're waiting to see if somebody's going to stay with you or choose you. This is a card of instability. Somebody who's being very wishy-washy, keeps going back and forth. There is positive energy around this, though. You've got the Judgment card and the Fool. So, both of these cards are new beginnings. So if you're struggling in a relationship with a lot of ups and downs, or if you're struggling in a relationship where somebody keeps going and, you know, coming and going, it's off and on, you've got new beginnings around this. So I feel like something is changing for the sign of Capricorn. I mean, it's pretty much all over this reading, and I am going to get a few more cards. Karma, which is the Judgment card, is saying there's a second chance for the sign of Capricorn to be happy again. You will rise from the ashes. You were not destroyed, because some of you may feel that you were destroyed here with the Ten of Swords. You've not been able to move on. Somebody left here, but you do have a new beginning here with the Fool. So some of you may have a chance to reconnect with this person if you want to. For others, this can represent a new person. You're being told there is a kind of risky new beginning for the sign of Capricorn with the Fool. Okay, let's see what else comes up for you. We got 3 more from this deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? You've got the Lovers. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? The Emperor. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? And the Four of Pentacles. So, I mean, for the Four of Pentacles, I feel like some of you, like, you're not ready to let go. So that's a double message. We see that here, Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. But this energy, you can't move on. You've been unable to move on. You don't realize it's time to let it go and move on. You're holding on really tight here. Also, with the Emperor, you're really taking control. Some of you might even be taking action either to keep a relationship or a marriage together, or to bring an ex back into your life. Remember that the main energy was the Seven of Wands, which is confrontational energy. Perhaps, again, this is what I said at the beginning, you're ready to fight for what you want. You're really speaking up for yourself. Some of you might also be telling, you know, somebody that you love them, or that you want to get back together. I see you really empowered here with the Emperor. This is you really feeling in control and really feeling like, you know, you are in charge of what's going on in your love life. And I definitely see that the sign of Capricorn does not want to let go. You don't want to let go of this. You have the Lovers, which can represent the sign of Gemini. But the Lovers, this represents a relationship, a person that you want to keep in your life very much. And you do have a lot of positive energy around this person. You have the Sun. This is happiness. This is things really coming together for you. So I feel like, just kind of looking at these cards before I move on to the confirmation deck, something has ended or somebody walked away from you, but there's still a lot of potential there, either to work things out, to get back together. And you have 2 new beginnings down here, the Fool and the Judgment card. 2 new beginnings around perhaps a choice or a relationship with a lot of ups and downs. Okay, let's get a few more from the confirmation deck so we can get the rest of the story. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? You've got the Six of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? Five of Pentacles. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for November? And the Tower. Okay, what's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for November 2019? The Three of Cups. So this is exactly what you want to see, especially with, you know, all the messages that you've had here. I see you being hurt, betrayed, somebody walked away, you've not been able to move on from that. You've got this Three of Cups. This is joy, laughter, celebration, family. Perhaps some of you, this is what you're fighting for. This is what you're trying to hold on to. Let's look at these 3 cards. So, I mean, you do have the Six of Wands. So this is victory. This is you being able to beat the odds. This is you getting past any obstacles that have been blocking your happiness. You have the Five of Pentacles. So some of you have been suffering. This is a card of feeling abandoned. Perhaps someone did abandon you. I mean, this is just adding to the energy. I see it here. I see it here. Somebody abandoned you. But it's like, surprise. It's like something has changed. Perhaps somebody has changed their mind. Because I definitely see, I mean, there's messages everywhere here, you know, of somebody, you know, kind of hurting you. Here, here, here. Somebody chose to move on. But then there's also new beginnings. So I feel the sign of Capricorn, if somebody hurt you, broke up with you, walked away from you, perhaps somebody that was very wishy-washy, somebody that kept changing their mind about you, like, you would be surprised maybe that this person suddenly changes their mind. But I also feel like some of you, like, you're doing something about this. You've got the Emperor. You're feeling very empowered in the month of November, or you should be. If you're not, this is your time to really fight for what you want or for who you want. Because I see that you're really holding on here. Ten of Swords, which is refusing to move on, and the Four of Pentacles, holding on really tight. You're holding on to that person, to that relationship that you want to keep in your life. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, Capricorn, let's go ahead and get into the X spread. Shows the energies around Capricorn and their X for November 2019. The first card you have, Capricorn, is the Knight of Swords. Capricorn and their X for November. The Magician. Capricorn and their X for November. The Hierophant. Capricorn and their X for November. Page of Wands. Capricorn and their X for November. Three of Wands. Capricorn and their X for November. Two of Pentacles. So this is a repeat card because this was in the first spread that I did for you. Capricorn and their X for November. We got the Six of Pentacles, which was also, this was the first card that I pulled from the first spread. Capricorn and their X for November. The High Priestess. Capricorn and their X for November. And the Four of Pentacles, which was also in the first spread. So lots of repeat cards for the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so let's start at the top. Let's see what all of this means for you and your ex. So you've got two major arcanas here. For some of you, your ex may be a Taurus, because you've got the Hierophant, which is represented by the sign of Taurus. I mean, you've also got the Magician. In the first spread, you had the Emperor. Again, this is all about empowerment. So some of you, you do have, this is probably what we were seeing in the first spread. You have what it takes to maybe bring your ex back into your life. Again, this is not about manipulating them, but perhaps there was some misunderstanding. The Magician is about manifesting. You can manifest a new beginning. You've got the Knight of Swords, which means that things between you and your ex could change very, very quickly. I mean, you did have the Tower in the first spread. Perhaps, I saw somebody moving away from you, somebody walking away. You're not able to move on. This was all in the first spread, but you had the Tower. Now you have the Knight of Swords around your ex. This means that things can change very quickly. You could manifest a new beginning here. You've also got the Hierophant, which, I mean, this is a card of kindred spirits, soulmates, soul family, marriage. So some of you there, you still have that spiritual connection, with your ex. You can manifest this. You can manifest a new beginning, but for some of you there is waiting. Let me show you this next row here. We've got the Page of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. So it seems, again, I mean, you had this card in the first spread. Everything with your ex, perhaps there's instability here. Perhaps there, you have the Page of Wands. There has to be communication. If you go back and you watch the first reading, I think we had the Page of Cups here. So there has to be communication with your ex if you're going to be able to really work things out. In the first spread, it was the Page of Cups, which is really talking about your feelings, or somebody letting you know how they feel, or maybe you're letting them know you still care. This is good news coming in for the sign of Capricorn about their ex. The Page of Wands is always good news, but it also represents change and excitement. I see here, that you have been waiting, but I also feel that for some of you, this feels like maybe your ex has been waiting for the perfect timing, because this is all about waiting and timing, waiting for that perfect opportunity, maybe to communicate with you, because maybe they had been, again, changing their mind, going back and forth. Maybe they didn't know how they felt about you. There is some type of instability here. Now, you had this card in the first spread as well. So this is you getting what you want from your ex, and also getting what you deserve. You're being told here, trust your intuition. I mean, this card usually comes up in the X spread when some of you may think, I don't know if I want them back, or I don't know if I can trust them. The High Priestess is telling you to trust your intuition. If your intuition is telling you it's not over, they still care, then go with that. If your intuition is telling you don't trust this person, they've done this over and over, then you have to trust that. But I do see here, again, another repeat card, the Four of Pentacles. The sign of Capricorn has been trying to hold on to this relationship, to this ex. You've not been able to move on from that. And again, we saw this in the first spread. But I do see, that there's a chance for you to manifest a new beginning here. There is communication, and you do have a chance here to get what you deserve with the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so let's get a few more, and let's see what else comes up for you. Capricorn and their ex for November. We've got the Queen of Wands, Capricorn and their ex. Capricorn and their ex. Okay, so you've got two people here. You've got a fire sign. The Queen of Wands would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Male or female, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You've got the King of Swords, which would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can be you, it can be your ex, but also with the Queen of Wands, especially with the Magician here. If neither one of you are fire signs, this represents someone taking action. The King and the Queen of Wands are all about going after what you want. The main energy from the first reading. Fighting for what you want. So some of you, you may be, again, trying to manifest the Magician here. You may be trying to manifest a new beginning with your ex. It could be that you have to fight for this person, because I do see a relationship here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is commitment, stability. For some of you, it can even be marriage. Also with the King of Swords, if no one is an air sign, this represents someone who's doing a lot of thinking. This represents someone that's analyzing everything. It could be you or it could be your ex. But remember, if it's you, you're being told to trust your intuition. Try not to analyze things too much. Okay, so let's get a few cards from the confirmation deck. Let's see what else comes up around you and your ex. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn about their ex for November? The Eight of Cups. Okay, so this was also in the first spread. If you go back and watch, Capricorn and their ex for November. Two of Wands. So now you've got the Two and the Three of Wands. Capricorn and their ex for November. And the Devil. So, I mean, you've got the Devil here, which it does represent your energy. It represents a sign of Capricorn. But, I mean, again, this could be, perhaps that there are things that you have to work on. The Eight of Cups does represent someone saying goodbye. So, obviously, this is an ex spread. That would definitely apply. But the Eight of Cups also means that there's a lot of emotions, a lot of emotional baggage that you have to move on from, that you've got to let go. You did have the Ten of Swords in the first spread. It was right here where the Magician is. With the Ten of Swords, you were deeply hurt. So for those of you where there was a betrayal by your ex, maybe you were blindsided by what they did, there are things that you've got to move on from, certain emotions, in order for things to work out. It could be that if you don't move on from those emotions, maybe you haven't forgiven them yet, maybe you don't know if you want to forgive them, then everything's going to stay on hold here. And you've got the Two and the Three of Wands now. The Two of Wands, let's just start with this one. This does represent delays and waiting. The Three of Wands is, kind of waiting for that perfect opportunity. So, you've got the Devil here. It does represent your energy, but, it also represents... it can represent someone who's very pessimistic. It can represent negative energy. The Devil is definitely something that is challenging you and your ex from getting back together. Something that's blocking you from getting back together. It can also represent perhaps a third party, an unhealthy relationship. Especially, with something like the Two of Pentacles in the same spread. Perhaps, there are negative behavior patterns around your ex where this person really just needs to make a decision. Are they with you or not? Do they still want to be with you or not? It just seems here like the sign of Capricorn is like, your things with your ex can fall into place. You've got a relationship here, the possibility of stability, of commitment, and you've got the Six of Pentacles, a repeat card. That you're able to get what you deserve from this person. You've got the Magician. You can manifest this. That kindred spirit soulmate connection is still there, but there's also some type of toxic energy, some negativity. So it's a general reading, so it's hard to say what this is. To think about why you broke up. Why is this person your ex? Is it because they were very destructive? This can represent destructive behavior. Perhaps someone interfering in your relationship. But since it came up with the Eight of Cups here, which is, needing to leave certain emotions behind. I feel like, perhaps the reason why you broke up, that's something that needs to be worked on. Let me get a few more cards, because I feel like something is unclear here. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn about their ex for November? Yeah, look at what I pulled, the Three of Swords. So this is the breakup card. This is your heart being broken. So again, it's like the cards are repeating themselves, that you've not been able to move on from this. Maybe some of you need to really work on forgiving your ex if you want them back. But I also feel like you will have that chance maybe to hear them out. You did have the Page of Wands under here, and you had the Page of Cups in the first spread. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn about their ex for November? Yeah, the Fool. The Fool is actually in the first spread as well. So, the Fool does represent a new beginning. Here it is. This was in the first spread. And the Fool is not just a new beginning. You're taking a giant risk. So here you go. You're taking a giant risk. There is a chance for a new beginning with your ex. But remember that you do have, you have the Devil here, and you've got the Eight of Cups. So some of you, like, you have to be sure this person has changed. I feel like this has come up for all the signs I've posted so far. There's heartache here. Or perhaps you don't know maybe the real reasons why someone walked away from you. That could definitely be why we're seeing the Eight of Cups and the Three of Swords. Let me get one more. What final message is there for the sign of Capricorn about their ex for November? Yeah, it's complicated. What could I say? The Two of Pentacles. Don't you have this card? Yeah, you have this card right here, right under the Fool. So this is a repeat card. There you go. Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. I mean, with the Two of Pentacles, this makes me feel like for some of you there is a choice. There could be someone else. If there is no third party, the Two of Pentacles, it's just that everything is very unsettled right now. It could be that, maybe that's why we have the King of Swords. Somebody's doing a lot of thinking. Even if they're not an air sign, this is someone who is doing a lot of thinking and analyzing. Again, somebody's having trouble making a decision whether they're going to come back to you or not. But, you do have the Magician here. So you can manifest a new beginning. You can start by maybe hearing them out. You do have the Page of Wands here. So there is communication. There can be communication with your ex. But I do feel like it could be that you're waiting. You could be waiting for this new beginning with this person, unless you really hear them out, unless you really kind of hear them out, maybe why they left. That could be why the main energy from the first spread was the Seven of Wands. Like, you're having your chance here to really speak your truth and stand your ground with your ex. Okay, Capricorn, this has been your love reading for November 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.